this is basically showing and laying bare the example, clear as day, that we are second-class citizens in our own country, basically. And because I am in the conspiracy realm, I can't help but watch these things with a bit of a outside perspective, because I understand, well, nothing really gets promoted in the media or onto the screen or onto the TV or into the mainstream unless they kind of want us seeing this, because they're directing our thoughts in many ways. And look, before anyone screams at me or is listening to this or has never heard me before, I'm not a liberal. I'm against all of that kind of stuff. I'm ideologically, I guess I'm more traditional conservative Christian, but at the same time, I don't play the politics game or the left-right game. I'm not interested in that. But what I will say is this is what we're seeing play out. We're seeing a hard shift to the right now, justifiably so, as a counter to the extreme results of libertarian leftism and communism and socialism and open borders globalist regimes. And the people of the UK are getting extremely angry, and they're reaching a boiling point, and we are seeing a hard shift back to the right, justifiably so, as a result of terrible policies from the left. I can see that is happening. But at the same time, we must also kind of never lose perspective here and understand that, well, there are people above all of our political systems who have facilitated the circumstances to make these type of things happen, to make a Henry Novak situation occur. There are people who have purposefully done this to us. They're usually the people you're not allowed to criticize or talk about, but people in positions of authority and power have facilitated the circumstances to cause events like this to happen. And we need to react so they can offer the solutions. That's always been the game. When you're on the ground and you're in it, it's impossible not to react, because you're in it, living it, and it's a lived experience that is visceral and hits the nervous system hard. So I get it. I'm not condemning reaction, but at the same time, you are being played because of that reaction, and your reactions are what are going to cause this to spiral into specific avenues that they kind of want you to go down. So when I'm watching this event occur, I can see, well, this is going to be framed as the big event that's going to make Western man rise. And there is a long-term agenda here that a lot of people don't want to talk about. There's a lot of deniers out there who want to say, well, it's been debunked as false, but there is a letter that was written by a Freemason called Albert Pike over 100 years ago to an Italian revolutionary and Freemason called Mazzini, who mapped out the 3 world wars that were to come. And the letter that we have is like a copy of the original letter, and the language has modern language in it about like fascism in Israel, which shouldn't have existed when the letter was written. So I understand why the skepticism's there. However, when you read the thing, it's playing out exactly like that script dictates. Still, whether it's debunked or not, it's still playing out exactly as written in that letter. And we are told that Christianity is going to be restrained, okay, by the boot of atheism, nihilism, and communism. And then they will unrestrain the Western Christian mind and the peoples, so they can kick back at the thing that's been suppressing them. And I feel like we're in the throes of the boot being lifted and Christianity being unrestrained. So people facilitated the situation where we had the long march of liberalism through the schools, social Marxism, communism, open border policies, free movement of people, globalist ideologies, modernity, and the rest of it. Everything that's basically degraded Western civilization from a high moral standing to a pathetic facsimile of its former self, who is basically part of a death cult that believes it shouldn't exist anymore. All of that was done on purpose. And that's to facilitate the undercurrent of the silent majority who disagree with all of it. And then give them the opportunity to rise and snap back when the opportunity calls for it. Because they want to facilitate a war. And right now in the Middle East, we're seeing that war come to fruition, where the political Zionists are being pinned against the surrounding nations.